As I am preparing your cards, I wish to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land that I am doing this reading from, the Gumbaynggirr people, and recognise their continuing connection to the lands, waters, communities and their culture. I pay my respects to their elders past, present and emerging. Hello Virgo, welcome to your June 2023 reading. I'm Lou from Empress Blue. Welcome to Gemini season. Gemini representing your 10th house, your house of career and public reputation. And I think this is a really positive thing for you this month, Virgo, because what I'm seeing from the cards is you are glowing. You are literally glowing. You have come through here with the attract through glow card. So you're attracting a lot, and this, okay, there's two parts to this, okay? So you are attracting a lot, and you'll be attracting a lot of people, a lot of opportunities, a lot of desires manifesting into reality. You'll be attracting a lot of the cooperative components of what you need to create the space and create the life and all the things that you're trying to do for yourself. I think you're in a really powerful position throughout June. But also remembering this card is sort of signifying here as well that bright lights attract a lot of bugs. And so being aware, and I'm not saying that all Virgos will attract a lot of bugs, but if you do, just being aware of like your perspective on what that actually means, because attracting bugs can be a really good indicator, if you choose for it to be, that you are shining, that you're bright. And it's just about being discerning with how you what you allow into your sphere, what you allow into your space, and what you accept and receive. I mean, so you're attracting. What are you going to receive? That's up to you to choose. And I think, that you're in such a great space at the moment, and you have been for a while now. If you watched my video from May, so it's still up, so you can go and watch it if you haven't. But May was a really busy full-on month, but so many great things happened for you, Virgo. And actually you came through in May as the King of Swords, and it's come out again here. And I spoke about in that video as well, I spoke about how that's related to all this energy that you've had in your 9th house lately, and since 2018 really. You've had Uranus there, and then the North Node there as well. And last month we had such a huge Taurus weather. We had eclipses there, we had Mercury retrograde there, we had Taurus season. So there was a lot happening and activating and sort of really bringing everything back to that Uranus transit that you've been doing, and the work you've been doing around your mindset, around your perspective, around your faith, your wisdom, your knowledge. So a lot of Virgos adapting and leveling up and ascending in their perspective, in their views, the King of Swords, in how you perceive the world and the universe and life and in general. And as such, a lot of your goals have changed as well. A lot of like what you want for yourself and for the world and for your family and your friends has changed because of this new perspective, and it's really serving you. And you can see that coming through in the cards as well. It's really serving you. And I think, you'd be, like I said, you'd be glowing this month, and it's like from the inside out, but there's like this beauty that's coming through you. You've got this Seek Beauty card, and there's two sides to that as well. In that it's telling you to seek out beauty, and that's a way that you can navigate through June, is looking at things that are beautiful to you. You've got Jupiter and the North Node in conjunct in Taurus this month, and so beauty will be a big component for everybody really, because Taurus is ruled by Venus. And Venus is doing something special, which we'll talk about soon. But so beauty could be your navigator throughout June, and how you decide where to place your energy, where to place your focus, your attention. But the other side of this card is that you are beautiful. You're radiating a lot of beauty yourself because you're in such a solid place, and someone who's really solid within themselves. And I see that a lot through the cards. They are beautiful, no matter what your appearance is on the physical outer external level. when you're radiating pure authenticity, you are beautiful. And so beauty attracts beauty, like attracts like. And so as you're seeking beauty, you are shining and radiating beauty, and that's coming through really strongly for you, Virgo. And I think as well with this Finch card here, the optimism card, I mean, look at the colors on this bird. You wouldn't be able to miss that bird. It's shining so brightly, and it's shining so brightly with optimism and enthusiasm and love, and pure love. And I think that as well, being in that space, we've got this adaptability card too. And I think whenever you're in that space of feeling this, the energy that I'm feeling is just so beautiful. It's so uplifting. It's like really the energy of the sun. It's life enforcing. It's this life affirming energy. You're really in a great space, and when you feel that good within yourself and that wholesome like that, you can be adaptable because you understand and you have faith in the universe and faith in how things work, and you understand that nothing serious is going on, and nothing, and everything was always working out. That optimism's there. So there's that adaptability. So if you do attract these bugs, like I was talking about earlier, if you're attracting bugs, just remain adaptable and ready to shift and change, because these bugs are nothing more than just an indicator of how much you're glowing and how beautiful your radiance. It's just an indicator of your radiance, and that doesn't mean that you have to accept that. These bugs could be people, they could be opportunities, they could be distractions or whatever. That you could be attracting lots, and it's up to you to discern and decide what's for you and what you are not going to include in your sphere. And that's a part of this. There's a part of this attraction and this manifestation and this like creative process of deciding what you will and won't accept. So it doesn't matter. So just because opportunities come knocking or people come knocking doesn't mean that you have to accept them and allow them in to your world. And I think that a lot will come for you through June. I think, May was such a huge month. May was a very busy month, very busy. And I think June will be as well, because, you're coming in here with the 8 of Wands. I think that there'll be a lot of activity, but also a lot of people and a lot of interest and a lot of opportunities coming to your door this month. But the good news is, though, Virgo, that things will start to slow down at the end of the month and moving into July, because we're going into retrograde season, which I think will be a very welcomed retrograde season this year. We're also going into Venus retrograde at the end, so the end of next month. So let's talk about that for a minute. We've got the Four of Swords on the bottom of the deck. And that Four of Swords is that restful energy. It's that time out, so taking that space out and resting and meditating and contemplating. And Venus is moving into your 12th house, so that happens on the 5th of June. And she will be gearing up to do a retrograde there, okay? So she moves retrograde on the 23rd of July until the 4th of September. So we'll talk way more about that next month. But for now, it's looking at that storyline and taking that time out to consider and contemplate and even meditate and just be with yourself. Just be with yourself and look at and think about how you relate with yourself and how you relate with the divine as well. The 12th house is the house of the divine and your connection to the divine, and through your imagination and through your creative process. So it's a great time to practice your creative process, whatever that means for you, and to work on yourself, on your relating, how you relate to yourself, and therefore how you relate to others. Because we've got in the environment, we've got this self card here: self-worth, self-love, self-value, self-respect. So there'll be a lot coming up in your environment this month that will be indicating that to you, and that's about this work that you'll be doing with Venus in the retrograde phase in July. So this month you'll get to see that storyline start to take form and take shape, and I recommend that you take note of what comes up for you, because there's a lot of work that, there's work you can do, even though I think this is going to be very powerful and very positive for you. We even have the Empress card at the end of your reading, and the Empress card is ruled by Venus. It's the card of Venus, and she's in the upright position. So this Venus retrograde is going to be very powerful for you, for bringing out the beauty within yourself, bringing out the love that you have for yourself and for your own self-worth, and helping you to really cement that in and find that access within yourself, that strong internal access of replenishment that comes from your connection with your inner being, but also with your connection with self, that love and respect and reverence for yourself and your higher self and all the components of yourself. And I think, with the Knight of Coins here, I think you'll be doing that work, and I think that you have been doing the work for a long time. I talked about that in your reading last month too, is like really taking those all those steps that are required to do it. I think that a lot of Virgos have realized the benefits, but also like the work that is required to get to where you want to go. And it's like a lot of Virgos have walked through hell and back to get to where they are now, and now you'll be reaping those benefits. But yeah, that's that Knight of Coins is like, you've really done all the steps. You didn't miss a beat. Even when the going got tough, even when it was hard, even when you wanted to give up, you knew, no, this is what I need to do, and you've been doing that, and it's showing, it's shining. You're literally glowing with this because you've done all that, you've done the work, okay? And so other people are noticing you, Three of Coins. Other people are wanting to come together with you. They're wanting to work with you in whatever capacity that is for you. That could be in a relationship, it could be at work. I feel like it would be most likely for most Virgos, it will be a work situation where somebody or a group of people want to work with you, because we've got that 10th house activation with the Gemini season, which is, work, it is career. Now this Gemini season is harking back to the Mars retrograde that we had in Gemini. That happened at the end of last year, from like the end of October, sort of start of November to January. Mars was retrograde there, and that was a tough time. If you think back as well, I think a lot of people, there was a lot of changes, there was a lot of chaos, it was very busy, there was a lot of activity, but nothing really moved forward. Some Virgos would have changed careers, some Virgos would have felt really frustrated in their careers or major life goals. And I think that a lot of Virgos, they didn't really see any resolution to that situation. But now, as we're moving into Gemini season, now's the time when the sun comes and activates that and puts a spotlight on it, and you'll start to see that resolution of what came up for you then. So think about what happened in that Mars retrograde period. That will give you an idea of what you're dealing with now and what's coming to light now. And I feel like, with the Three of Coins here, and then we moved straight to the Four of Coins in the center of the reading, I think you're a little bit wary. And I think that's okay for you, Virgo, because, like I said, you're glowing, you're attracting bugs, and you're attracting all the things, not just attracting bugs, you're attracting a lot of beauty and a lot of positive opportunities and positive experiences, but you're also attracting bugs. And so it's okay to be in this discerning space, just making sure that you're not blocking yourself off from all the possibilities that you do want to come in, not just cutting yourself off from everything, because we have the Judgment card in reverse, and so there's that there's a possibility for there to be errors in your judgment throughout June. And if you're struggling, if there is anything that comes up for you this month, it's really about your judgment, and possibly there's just some adjustments that need to be made there in how you're viewing the situation, how you're evaluating yourself or the other people. And I think that's what this work with Venus will be all about, in the 12th house. You know, the 12th house is where we keep all of our traumas and our deep wounding. It's where we keep all of our shames and yeah, so like anything like that that we don't want other people to see, that kind of sits in that 12th house. And so Venus may be bringing some of that up, or especially next month, bringing some of that up for healing throughout the retrograde period. So just looking out, I don't think it will be a big deal for you, Virgo, but just keeping an eye out for any like adjustments that you can make in your judgment. And I think this will be about, you know, we got the Six of Coins here, and there's this like the Six of Coins is about receiving, and it's about giving and receiving, and that beautiful like flow, ebb and flow of life and nature and with other people, you know, the Three of Coins. And if there has been times when that has been betrayed, Seven of Swords, there that could be the healing that's able to be done, or that's open to you at this point, and especially as we move through July. There could be this healing around betrayals and around where people have taken advantage of you, particularly taken advantage of your beauty or of your optimism. You know, like if you are somebody who's always, you know, like a sunny personality, like an optimistic person, and people sort of take advantage of that, it can be heartbreaking. It can cause you to feel like you need to cut yourself off and block yourself off from these people. But remembering that not everybody is like that, and that's about this judgment. It's about making clear judgment about who you're letting in, what you're allowing, what you're accepting. You could be attracting lots of different things, but then you need to decide what you're going to accept, what you're going to receive. Six of Coins. And Venus, you know, Venus will be doing that work with you and moving through any betrayals, anything that you any past woundings that have happened in the past, because this center column here, where we've got the Seven of Swords, we've got the Four of Coins, and we've got the King of Swords, you know, there's a very clinical, I feel like there's some judgments here that are very clinical in the way that you're approaching things, and they're very intellectual. You know, there's a disconnect between your judgments and your emotions, and that's what the Empress is here to explain. There's going to be an opening, like a blossoming of your heart and your emotional body, so that you can address some of these judgments that are more clinical in your ability to receive other people into your life. So let's have a look at some clarifiers. So we got the Devil, Magician, and the Page of Swords. And that's exactly what I've been talking about with that glow. You know, the Magician being that you are attracting, you are creating, you are manifesting like an absolute pro this month. And so, you know, within that, anywhere that there's these errors in your judgment will be manifested as well. Those are the bugs. Those are the bugs that need to be worked out, right? Through Venus. So that's the Devil. The Devil being anything that you are sort of stuck in, that 12th house, trauma, trapped energy. If there's anything stuck within your vibration, it's going to come out. It will come out, and maybe, you know, even just as much as coming out as thoughts. Page of Swords. If you're quick enough, you can catch them when they're in just the manifestation of just thought, and you can work with that. That's you know, that's more advanced in the creative process. When you're more advanced at these skills, you can catch things in the thought moments and move and work with them there, and before they become big enough to be manifested into reality, into external situations. But yeah, so if there's things coming up for you in the external, in the environment, looking at your judgments about how you perceive these things, what are you making that, what meaning are you applying to that? And I think with that Jupiter North Node conjunction that's happening in the ninth house for most of the month, there's karmic things that will come through, and it's all for the evolution of your mindset and your perspective, you know, and for the next layer of Virgo. Beautiful. So we got the Six of Swords, the Four of Wands, and the Hierophant in reverse, clarifying the self. And so yeah, I feel like I just feel like anything that happens that is uncomfortable for you this month is gonna be kind of not really. It's just gonna be kind of a blip, is how I'm feeling, because of how like well aligned you are and how amazing, you know, how optimistic and how beautifully aligned you are. Things that come up with the Hierophant in reverse, it's like it's just going to be a blip. It's not really going to it's not going to be, it's just information is what I'm hearing them say. It's just information for you to say, to, like I said at the beginning, to know that you're attracting, to know that you're manifesting, to know that you're on point or that you're off point, or so you're viewing it this month as just information coming through. They've got the Seven of Swords in reverse on the bottom of the deck, so that's great. That means that there's that healing. That healing's possible, not only possible but very probable, that you will be able to shift these any trapped traumas around betrayal will be able to shift this month, because you're vibrating on such a high level. You're a very, like, Virgo's very light at this month and last month as well, very light and vibrating very high. We got the Four of Wands here. This is a celebration. Six of Swords moving on. So this sense of self that's coming through in these cards, it's helping you to move forward, and it's really a celebration. There's you've come so far, and you are doing so well compared to, a few, like, not that long ago, how far you've come. There's this opportunity to celebrate, and maybe even with Venus in the retrograde period, celebrating just how quickly you can do the work now. Because of this mindset, you can do the work really quickly, and that's why everything's just a blip. It's because you're sorting it out really quickly, and you're addressing it, and you're able to, like I said, in that more advanced level where you can address it in that thought pattern when it's just a thought, and therefore you can move forward. And that comes from loving yourself and being aligned with yourself and being aligned with your inner being, that you have been over the last few months, Virgo. So let's get some cards to see what's being reflected to you from the environment. So what's been reflected to Virgo through the environment? We have spiritual beginning, service, and earth embrace. Wow. Okay. So the service card is you. You are the sign of service. So that, again, that's telling us that this alignment with your authentic self will be reflected back to you. So how aligned you are with this beautiful self-worth and self-love and self-value, and that celebration of self, celebrating yourself, loving yourself, seeing yourself as beautiful, and being in that optimistic, like, high energy, high vibration that I'm feeling for you. You are literally acting as a beacon, okay? Virgo is what I'm seeing here with this card, Attract Through Glow. You are literally a beacon of hope and optimism and beauty and inspiration and passion at the moment, and that is your service to others. And so that's a message to not lower yourself. If these bugs or whatever they are come to you, not to lower yourself to that energetic level, but to hold that height that you're in, to hold it, and and keep glowing, keep shining, no matter what anybody throws at you or anything throws at you. Because if you hold that beacon, some people may move away from you because of it, because the light's too bright, but most people will come towards you, and then they'll want to match you, and they'll as a result of just being in your presence, they will improve, and they will move up the vibrational scale as well, because you'll have such a strong influence this month, Virgo. This is what's coming through. You're such a strong influence on everybody you meet because of the space you're in, because of the vibration you're in, because of your optimism, and because of your beauty. You're very influential. And through that, that's how you're serving others, and you're serving the universe, the spiritual beginning as well, you know. That's been reflected to you. You've been doing this spiritual beginning for a while. You know, I don't think you're really in the beginning period anymore, but it's what's being reflected to you through your environment. So how far you've come along this spiritual journey, you will see that through what manifests in your life throughout June. So take a look at what manifests, and take the time out to recognize and identify how far you've come, like I said, and celebrate it. Celebrate the things that you do for yourself now that you probably didn't do or wouldn't have done not that long ago, because that is a step in the right direction. That's a step forward. And with the Earth embrace, I feel like this is that Taurus energy, you know, Taurus being an Earth sign, and Jupiter being in Taurus, especially conjunct the North Node this month. That's going to be really strong for the whole of June for everybody. So for you, you know, anything that any blessings that come into your life, they're karmic. They're a repayment for anything, any hard work that you've done, anywhere where you've dug in and you've done the work. There's going to be blessings come through this month with Jupiter and the North Node, because that's that Six of Coins, give and take. So you've given, and now it's time for you to receive. So you will be receiving your the balance. You know, you'll be receiving the balance. You'll be receiving what you've put out into the universe this month. All the blessings that you've put out, all the ways that you've inspired others, or that you've improved vibrationally the vibration of others and the environment around you. You'll be receiving that back this month through this Earth embrace. So that's your reading for this month, Virgo. Thank you for coming on this journey with me. Thank you for allowing me to be a part of your creative journey as well. If you feel inspired to do so, please do leave a comment. You can tell me a little bit about your experience, so that it just helps me to gain context and to connect with you energetically for future readings. And please do like this video and subscribe to my channel. That really helps me. And I will see you again in July. Thank you.